Hello, and thank you so much for joining us at 11. I'm Tiffany Rizzo. Tonight, thousands of demonstrations were planned coast to coast from New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and even in Europe. Protesters focused on President Trump's immigration and trade policies, as well as the government shutdown. And if you take a look at this map, each dot representing a demonstration. Over 2,000 protests in the U.S. alone. And if you look east, protests also showing up in Spain, the UK, and in France. Reporter Elise Preston spoke with several correspondents around the country. She joins us with more.
I want to be able to tell my future children that I was here, that I stood on the right side of history.
The nationwide rallies are in response to what organizers call an abuse of power by President Trump, including his administration's crackdown on immigration and its threat to send the National Guard into cities, including Chicago and Portland.
The message is no kings. The message is the Constitution of the United States is a wonderful document that matters.
Republicans said the protests were nothing more than Hate America rallies.
I'm Torian Small in Washington, D.C. Before leaving the Hill this week, House Speaker Mike Johnson framed this rally as a Hate America event. Attendees disagreed.
We love America. We hate what they're trying to do to America.
Today's rally is taking place in big cities and small towns in every state.
I'm Allie Bauman in Morristown, New Jersey. Thousands attended today's rally 16 miles away from the president's New Jersey golf course. This county has deep roots in the nation's founding, known as the military capital of the American Revolution.
Our forefathers fought off kings and said no kings for the first time. So it is full circle.
Judy Kelly is one of the local organizers.
To defend democracy on this land, it does mean a lot to all of us who are working on it.
In Frisco, Texas, the protest was small but vocal.
I believe in democracy. I fought for democracy and sacrificed. And the things that are being done right now in this government are totally ridiculous.
In Europe, protesters were also small in numbers, but passionate outside the U.S. Embassy in London, in Paris and Berlin.
Being here in Germany, especially considering the history that's here, we have a unique perspective to look and say, that's not okay.
Elise Preston, CBS News.
And much closer to home in Palm Beach County, thousands took to the streets just as President Trump returned to town. One local protest happening just miles from Mar-a-Lago. CBS 12 News was there as hundreds gathered outside the Palm Beach Lakes Target. Outside the Target on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard in West Palm Beach, crowds held signs, waved flags, and chanted their message loud and clear. We want democracy! The No Kings movement rallied in cities across the country. Organizers say more than 2,000 events took place nationwide.
We have no kings in America, okay? We the people, we have rights. Our rights are being taken away.
We got a government shutdown right now. We need them to be doing something for our people.
No king ever in America. We support the Constitution. We love democracy.
Republicans say the No Kings movement isn't just about democracy. They argue it's politically motivated. House Speaker Mike Johnson called it a Hate America rally, saying Democratic leaders were not voting to open the government until after the protest to appease the far left. Still, for those here, the message is simple. They say they want their voices heard.
We want our Constitution back. We want our rights back.
I'm worried about my grandchildren mostly, and I don't want to see this country constantly being dismantled.
We have a system right now that has turned our country upside down, and it's killing us. And we need to go ahead and stand up and fight back for what we believe in and what America should be.
In Palm Beach County, Congresswoman Lois Frankel joined the crowd, calling it a sign of people using their voices peacefully.
Look, this is democracy in action, and it's peaceful.
And while people protested peacefully in Palm Beach, Republicans say President Trump is focused on international peace deals, showing a commitment to unity and peace rather than division. This week, he brokered the peace agreement between Hamas and Israel that freed hostages and brought about a temporary ceasefire. He's also pushing for negotiations to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. The No Kings protests took place in all 50 states, and more are expected through the weekend. Law enforcement reports no major incidents, with most events remaining peaceful.
First at 11, more than 2,500 No Kings rallies are happening from coast to coast today. That includes here in Maine, from Presque Isle all the way to Kittery. CBS 13's Allison LaPierre went to one of the state's biggest rallies right here in Portland.
Protesters are gathering in and around Deering Oaks Park in Portland, rallying against the Trump administration at a No Kings rally.
It's time for a change, and it's time not to be afraid to speak out.
Demonstrators dressed up, chanted, and sang to deliver a message to the federal government.
Well, I'm here to say no to kings and all that.
We are all affected when the president is making huge cuts, ignoring the Constitution, and people are suffering.
The advocacy group Indivisible Greater Portland, Maine led 30 No Kings rallies today throughout the state. Group organizers say the rallies are for people to voice their opposition to President Donald Trump's administration policies and decisions.
We just are supporting each other and saying that we're not willing to give up democracy.
A handful of guest speakers shared their views, including U.S. Representative Shelley Pingree. Attendees say this was the largest turnout they have seen at a Portland rally to date.
I love the crowd, and it feels good to be around people who are working to protect the Constitution of the United States, because I love America.
Today's Portland rally was not the first, and event organizers say it won't be the last.
We will not give up the rights that we are afforded, that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness stand above billionaires and oligarchy and authoritarianism.
In Portland, Allison LaPierre, CBS 13 News.
The National No Kings protest carried out in Yarmouth as well. Yarmouth residents lined the streets with signs rallying against the Trump administration. Yarmouth's protest was just one of the protests held in Maine today. Another one in Augusta, but residents there say the Memorial Bridge was closed during the demonstrations. Police officers say they closed the bridge due to a disruption, but did not specify it was related to the protest. The people who live there say the closure restricted access to protesters. Officials say that bridge is back open.
Signs, chants, and crowds filled Central Texas streets beyond Austin today as thousands joined in the No Kings movement to make their voices heard. CBS Austin's Farrah Walton shows us how their message spread across the region.
Crowds gathered across Central Texas today, joining together in defiance of the Trump administration. Supporters call it protecting democracy, while opponents say it's political theater.
Please hear me when I say,
you will not silence us. You will not stop us. We will be heard.
This is what democracy looks like. Crowds marching in big cities and smaller ones as the second round of No Kings protests took place across the nation.
This is what democracy looks like.
Many right here in Central Texas, including in Round Rock, Pflugerville, and Dripping Springs.
We elect a president. We don't elect a king. They don't have the complete authority to do whatever they want to anyone they want.
Protesters say they're demonstrating peaceful action and unity against President Donald Trump's administration and many of his policies.
I'm out here for LGBTQ. I'm out here for trans. I'm out here for immigrants. I'm out here for refugees.
Yes. Here in Bastrop, a crowd of at least 600 gathered at the county courthouse before marching to the Kerr Community Center. Signs and chants filled the area. That same message echoed in Austin, where a larger crowd with people of all ages.
It's really exhilarating and satisfying to see that all these people came here to fight for their beliefs.
Met on the Capitol grounds before marching to Auditorium Shores.
Whose streets? Our streets.
Some congressional Republicans have described the demonstrations as Hate America protests. Organizers say the movement's core principle is nonviolence.
They kept pushing that and pushing it. Nonviolence, nonviolence, nonviolence. We are peaceful.
Keeping the focus on their message.
We do not accept authoritarian rule, and the people are getting out in the streets to tell our government what it needs to be doing, as it should be.
Both Austin and Bastrop events stayed largely peaceful, with demonstrators emphasizing their message of unity and democracy. Reporting from the state capitol, Farrah Walton, CBS Austin News.
More than 2,700 No Kings demonstrations were held in cities across the U.S. today, including several in southern Nevada. The largest local demonstration against the Trump administration was on the Las Vegas Strip. News 3's Jane Davenport was there.
The sidewalk was loud and crowded as hundreds of people showed up for one of the several No Kings protests happening across the valley. Protesters showing up wearing inflatable costumes, holding signs and flags as they walked down Las Vegas Boulevard, cars on the street honking in support. Metro reports 700 people at the No Kings protest on the Las Vegas Strip.
This is what this is about.
Protesters began gathering in front of New York around 4:30 Saturday afternoon. Metro officers lined the street as people walked up holding handmade signs, wearing inflatable costumes and chanting.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
All in protest of the Trump administration.
I'm an immigrant here in America, and I want to stand up for my family and for my rights.
One of the main topics, ICE enforcement across the country.
I feel like our justice system overall is failing. It's crumbling when you're not giving people due process, when you're just snatching them off the street.
People like this woman, dressed as Lady Justice, wore outfits to represent their views, but others. Why are you in a dinosaur costume?
Why not? Just to have fun and make this be a peaceful protest, but that we are protesting tyranny.
Many people wearing the color yellow.
It's loud, it's all supposed to stick out and be peaceful, and you can stick out and you can draw more people towards you.
The protest was peaceful, with Metro reporting 0 arrests. While people were expressing their disapproval for the Trump administration, they were also expressing their love for the country.
I love America. This is a love speech to America. I love it here. I'm an immigrant. I love it here.
Metro says they only arrested one person for disorderly conduct at the protests today. No other incidents have been reported. Reporting in Las Vegas, Jane Davenport, News 3.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Darian Trotter. Developing now, No Kings rallies are underway coast to coast. Millions gathering peacefully in protest against actions taken by the Trump administration. More than 2,500 rallies are playing out in cities like New York, Chicago, Atlanta, and right here in the Alamo City. We've got team coverage covering every angle of the rally here. We begin tonight with News 4 San Antonio's Phil Sterling. He joins us live from Travis Park with the latest. Hey, Phil.
Darian, the protest has been going on for about an hour, and I mean, take a look behind me. There's plenty of people with signs, with flags. There's some pop-up tents in the park. You can even see some of those people wearing those inflatable animal costumes that we've seen at ICE protests in Portland. But everybody wants to share their message. Event organizers with 5051 San Antonio, who are running the protest, say it could be even bigger than what we saw in June. I spoke with them about an hour ago, and they told me so far numbers are matching up with what they saw then. Many are coming to protest Trump's immigration policies and what they say are his attacks on constitutional rights. I spoke with a few protesters who weren't here for the first protest but came out for today's. They say they're here for those who can't be.
We just want to say for everybody out there that's being affected, especially being targeted by ICE, being targeted by these mass criminals, we want those people to remember that there are people fighting for them.
Yesterday, Governor Abbott has posted on Twitter saying he's sending the National Guard to Austin ahead of an Antifa-linked protest in reference to the No Kings Day protest. Our sources have confirmed that the National Guard troops will also be here at the Alamo. Right now, protesters are just headed on their march around San Antonio before they come back to Travis Park. But the San Antonio Police Department told me that they'll be protecting peaceful protesters. And from what I've seen, there's been dozens of police cars in this area so far and police officers helping with traffic. Phil Sterling reporting from downtown News 4 San Antonio.
Before we let you go, we see in your video there are people from all walks of life, all ages. Did anyone you talked to out there tell you why, braving the heat even, it's so important for them to bring the young people out?
Yeah, that's right, Darian. I mean, I spoke to a family which had 2 young kids, and they told me it's important that even their kids know their rights at an early age, that they teach them their rights, their First Amendment rights at an early age.
All right, thanks a lot, Phil. Our team coverage of San Antonio's part in the nationwide rally continues right now with News 4 San Antonio's Destiny Fuller. She is also live at Travis Park. Destiny, how's it looking from your side?
Darian, things are looking just as you described it, peaceful, unified, but we're now at this point, people are starting to shift a little bit further this way, and that's because they're about to start marching. Now, it was based on the signs that we've seen out here, a lot of these people are saying that they want to see the same thing, accountability that trickles all the way down from President Donald Trump in Washington right here into San Antonio. We've heard from leaders like Roland Gutierrez, Greg Casar, Joaquin Castro, and several others who essentially say that that's exactly what they're fighting for in some of their elected positions. As I said, they're about to start marching, so we're kind of walking around speaking to people about why they're here. They just said that they want to see our President Donald Trump treat the United States as a country rather than a castle. Those are the exact words that one woman said to me when I spoke to her. She says that she's going to be out here braving the heat, as will several of these people. We've seen more roll in as the evening has gone on. Again, this started at 4 o'clock, and we're expecting much more. I believe that they said that the march is supposed to take about an hour. Now, you might remember in June, this was in the downtown area right in front of City Hall. Right now, we're in Travis Park. Again, they're going to start marching around this area. We'll bring you live updates later throughout the evening. Live from Travis Park, Destiny Fuller, News 4, San Antonio.
Destiny, an hour into the rally, and what have you seen so far in the way of any kind of dust-ups? We know that the country is pretty much divided, and there could be counter-protesters. What are you seeing out there right now?
You know, again, we're seeing a lot of unity. I have not seen anyone who has spoken against some of the several things that we have heard from speakers out here. We just got to keep monitoring through the evening to see if they stay that way.
All right, Destiny Fuller in Travis Park. Thanks a lot. Turning now to the northeast side, people living in New Braunfels are also taking part. A rally there began this morning at 10 a.m. and continued until noon. A small but enthusiastic crowd gathered outside Walnut and San Antonio Street there, holding signs and chanting as drivers pass by.
Voices around the country are not being heard. We're not happy. Clearly, America is on fire.
At least some of the demonstrators we talked to say they did not participate during the rallies in June, but they say they've been moved in recent months to take part now. Also on the northeast side, protesters in the Shirt-Cibolo area waved signs, and those signs having spirited phrases like keep families together or release the files. Some demonstrators joined in on a growing nationwide trend by wearing costumes as expressions of nonviolence. Other Texans gathered at the state capitol in Austin for a No Kings protest there. Hands Off Central Texas says around 5,000 people RSV'd to participate in that event. Congressman Lloyd Doggett and Greg Cesar spoke, encouraging people to let their voices be heard. One man who lives in Austin says it's important for people to come together for the cause. DPS agents were highly visible in Austin at the orders of Governor Greg Abbott. In a social media post, the governor says the protests are linked to Antifa, which President Trump has designated as a domestic terror organization. In his post, the governor says anyone destroying property or committing acts of violence will be, quote, swiftly arrested. National Guard troops were not seen, though, despite Abbott ordering them to the Capitol as well. We will continue to follow the No Kings protest here in San Antonio. We have Sky 4 in the air following the protest. Follow us on our social media pages to get the latest updates. Also, be sure to download the News 4 app.
Right now at 6 o'clock, hundreds of No Kings protests took place across the nation today. Protesters describing the rallies as peaceful protests against the Trump administration. You're looking here at the scene across multiple major cities. We're talking about Philadelphia, Boston, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. And back here at home, we saw dozens of rallies across southern New England. Good evening, and thanks for joining us at 6. I'm John Perrick. Sam Reed is off tonight. Take a look at some of the rallies locally. NBC 10's Mike Cerullo is live in studio with a closer look at the day's events. Mike.
Well, John, based on the crowds I saw today in Providence, it feels safe to say this was an even bigger turnout than the city's previous No Kings rally over the summer. We're working to get an exact estimate, but if you weren't there, here's a look at the crowd. Marching down the streets of downtown Providence.
The time for action is now.
By the thousands.
I came out because I really love this country.
A seemingly endless stream of people.
We're here today to say no kings to Donald Trump.
Bringing business as usual to a standstill.
Well, I have no problem with their purpose, but
This is a ride-share passenger behind me, and he needs to get to where he's going.
From the State House, past the mall, right by City Hall, and eventually looping back around, hitting on a wide variety of topics, all sharing a common goal.
I have 5 grandchildren, and when I'm gone, I want them to grow up in a country where they have freedom.
Donald Trump has got to go!
This was the scene in North Kingstown. Protesters lining both sides of the street as far as the eye can see down this stretch of Boston Neck Road.
This year is by far the biggest.
They do a lot of really good work on social media to get people motivated, but again, a lot of them are just useful idiots.
Rhode Island's GOP chair Joe Powers says he doesn't see these protests accomplishing much.
Let's talk about real things that are going to actually affect Rhode Islanders. The economy, the taxes, the budget that's blown way out of proportion.
What do you hope that people take away?
I hope people understand how important it is to get involved, how important it is just to figure out what they care about and give to it.
Now, if your plans take you into Providence tonight, the protest has now winded down. Roads are back open, and at last check, Providence police had not reported any arrests linked to the protests. Live in the studio, Mike Cerullo, NBC 10 News.
All right, Mike, thank you. Meanwhile, more No Kings protests were held across Bristol County this afternoon. Take a look, a couple hundred people gathering along Route 44 in Seekonk, waving flags and handmade posters at the Arcade Avenue intersection.
For a lot of people, and that includes people who voted for Trump, the system is simply not working for them. It's left a lot of people behind, and a lot of people are frustrated. And there's no better way to show your leadership, including here in Massachusetts, that by coming out and exercising your First Amendment rights.
Massachusetts was one of the original colonies. Rhode Island was one of the original colonies. We fought way back when to have no kings, to have our own government, to have government by the people and for the people. And we still need to have that, and we have to fight for it. It's not a given.
In Bristol County, a similar No Kings rally was held in Fall River.